No.
Anyways.
Definitely not. Go Dogs. Give me the Dogs.
All right. Richie, what do you think?
I think I'm going to go with Texas. It's going to be hard to beat the same team twice in one year. I think Texas, they're going to learn from their mistakes from last game. Ewers is going to show out today. That's what I'm going with.
Okay. All right.
That's short and sweet.
Yeah, keep it to the point. I will say this. I think Duke, Arch Manning has about a negative 1,000% chance of playing. Not playing, because he'll play in his little fucking Wildcat package that they put out there. He'll be the Devin Brown of Texas and go run the ball. But Quinn Ewers is not getting benched. There is no quarterback controversy in Texas. That's just not happening. It is Quinn Ewers' job. Quinn Ewers is going to lead them to the playoffs. Quinn Ewers is going to play this game and probably throw 1 or 2 interceptions. But I think he's going to play, other than 1 or 2 mistakes, a pretty clean game. And the really this comes down to, can Carson Beck put his dick away for a minute and focus on football?
And not want to get ran over by a car.
Yeah. Well, if he loses this game, he might get ran over by a car. But no, I mean, seriously, if he can put it down, if he can put Snapchat away for a minute, and he can go out there and focus on college football and focus on what made him a good quarterback in the first place, because he was a good quarterback. I mean, last year, he was a good quarterback. He was going to come into this year and fight for a potential number 1 overall pick. And now this year, he's come out and he's shit the bed. I don't know if it's because he's dating a Cavender twin. I don't know.
They say that does, that kind of blinds you.
Well, and here's the thing. Is it that he's not getting laid enough or that he's getting laid too much? I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to compare the stats on when the Cavender twin is at the game versus when she's not at the game to see if he plays better or worse.
We'll have to dig deep.
Yeah, that's a deep dive that I'll do at some point. But I think at the end of the day, it's going to be, what's that coming down the track? It's a mean machine in red and black. Give me the Dogs. Dogs, baby. Give me the Dogs. We're going to get us a little Georgia dub. And that's going to throw everything into disarray for the playoffs, which leads us into the 2 night games. And these games are going to be, I think, the most I think Texas, Georgia is going to be entertaining, but I'm really excited for the night games. You got Oregon, Penn State kicking off at 8 p.m., and then SMU, Clemson. And I don't think people are really paying that much attention to SMU Clemson, but I think that has the chance to be the most important game of the day.
Yeah, I agree to that. When it comes down to this, I think it's going to be Clemson's ability to gain first downs and score touchdowns, and Klubnik is going to be the key to this game.
Hot take.
I think that if Klubnik can come out and play well, Clemson has a fighting chance. The thing that Clemson has that I think that SMU is going to struggle with is going to be up front in the trenches.
Mm-hmm.
I think Clemson has one of the top 10 defenses as far as being up front. SMU is going to be virtually one-dimensional. If SMU can run the ball, Clemson's in trouble. But if Clemson, again, can hold SMU to field goals and score touchdowns, Clemson has a shot at this. I don't know if they're going to completely blow them out of the water, but if Clemson comes out lethargic on offense, it's not going to be a pretty day.
Rich?
I'm gonna go with Clemson. They've had the experience. Dabble's has coached in those conference championship games many times. I think that's where they're going to separate themselves from SMU, because SMU, they're in the new kid town. Yes, they are in the title game tonight, but I think that experience with Clemson and getting those guys prepared to play in the conference championship game, to look forward to the playoffs, give me the Tigers.
Okay. Richie, I feel like you're our AJ Hawk. You're just a man of few words. You're on here, but you don't say a lot sometimes. You keep it short and sweet. I like it. You're to the point. But I don't disagree. I think Clemson's experience is going to play a huge factor. And Dabo has been here, done that, right? And SMU has not. And I think the fact that Clemson is playing for their playoff life, right? If they lose, they're out.
Yeah.
SMU, I think if they lose, they might still get in. So, we got some thoughts on that over there, huh?
Duke, what do you got?
No?
It's going to be the Tide that gets in. That's the way this has been set up.
Blitz, Bama, blitz, baby.
So, okay. If they do that, how do they do that?
Yeah, how does that happen?
Because they're going to use the strength of schedule and resume against SMU.
Then why is Alabama not ranked ahead of SMU already?
Because that's the way they set it up. It's for the drama. This is made for TV. They give the last spot to the Big 12 team, and they leave Alabama right where they're at.
Yeah, but I mean, if based off of what the committee's already told us, SMU is the 8th best team in the country. They're better than Alabama.
But not if they lose to Clemson.
Why? I was told that the conference championships can't hurt you.
Yeah.
Well, if ifs or buts were candy and nuts, my friend.
I swear to God, like, and this is where I'm at. And I'm gonna shout them out. I'm with Chris Drew on this. If they put Alabama over SMU, that is bad for the sport. That is bad for the sport of college football. That is bad for a precedent that you're setting. And you may as well just come out and say this is an invitational. This isn't earn your way in. This isn't who the best teams go. I agree Alabama's a better football team than SMU. I think everybody up here agrees with that. But if you're a better football team, don't lose to fucking Oklahoma by 20 points.
Yeah, score a touchdown.
That is the circumstance that the committee has been put in. But I'm going to tell you who was the least watched ACC team this year.
I don't fucking SMU probably. I'm guessing.
Ding ding ding! You are the big winner, Carter.
Who is the most watched ACC team? And they're not really in the ACC.
Well, Notre Dame.
Yeah. Who is second?
Georgia Tech.
Yeah, buddy. The Rambling Wreck.
So, with all of that being said, this is a made-for-TV event.
Okay, but it shouldn't be, right? We're trying to get the most competitive, the best of the best. Like, fuck your TV. Everybody's going to watch anyways.
Well,
It's the playoffs. Everybody's watching.
a big portion of your TV viewership is around the state of Alabama. And
Fuck that. Texas is bigger.
If they're
Get out of here, that bullshit.
I'm just telling you, SMU was the least watched ACC team.
Well,
year.
that's because the NCAA fucked them over and gave them the death penalty.
I think that something that happened almost 40 years ago has nothing to do with what we're talking
Was it
about
40 years
now.
ago?
Yeah, it was.
Jesus.
I wasn't even alive.
But all things being real, I think it will create a buzz around SMU if they end up getting left out. But they did also raise $150 million coming into this season, so SMU is building.
They're on the up and up.
It's a slow build, but they are getting there.
It's a slow burn.
But I like what you did there. You parlayed a
I love
joke.
parlays.
But where we're heading, they can't leave Alabama out because of the. I know you don't want to hear this, but there is no.
That's targeting.
Yeah,
Sorry.
There's no other league that a middle of the pack team can beat a team in the top echelon. It doesn't happen in other leagues, except in the SEC. I know.
So are you just saying that it just means more?
I'm not saying that it just means more. I'm just saying that the teams in the SEC that are in the middle of the pack. I think Florida, if they're in the Big Ten, if they don't play Ohio State and Oregon, they could go 10-2.
If they don't play Ohio State and Oregon, fuck, I'd hope so.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I think fucking Penn State, if they're in the SEC and don't play Alabama and Georgia, could go 10-2.
I don't agree with that.
What?
No.
Oh my god.
I think
Our resident SEC homer, everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus.
I don't agree with that.
You don't think that that Penn State, who, by the way, is in the Big Ten Conference Championship game tonight, could go into the SEC, not play Alabama and Georgia, and win 10 games? You don't think they could do that?
No, because I don't think they're better than Texas.
That's one of their losses. There you go. That's one of two.
I don't think they're better than A&M.
Stop.
I don't think so.
So is Penn State better than Notre Dame?
No.
All right, good answer. I mean, I think I'm going to stop you there. I wish I had the big cap so I could make you put it on, because that's cap, bro. Penn State would go 10-2 in the SEC, even if they played Bama.
You think if they would be on the road at Tuscaloosa, they're gonna win away?
No, they'd probably lose that one. But if they're on the road at fucking Vanderbilt, guess what they wouldn't do? Lose. Guess who did?
Bama.
Thank you.
But the only time of this
Nothing but
reaching,
the tide.
the only time a middle of the pack team that has reached out and bit one of the upper echelon teams in the Big Ten was this past weekend when Ohio State and Michigan. So I think there's your level of.
Well, that's
disparity.
a little different. You know that
But-
game's different.
But I mean, I get it. The game's different, but that's the only middle of the road team that's beat an upper echelon team in the league.
Fucking talk to Urban Meyer. He would disagree. Purdue, Iowa, they both got them.
Yeah,
But
by 30.
that's not this year with the 12-team playoff.
No, it's not this year. But I'm just saying, and this is where I get a little annoyed with this SEC bullshit. I get it. I agree SEC top to bottom is the best conference in college football. I'm not stupid. But at the same time, miss me with this, our middle of the road teams are so much better than yours. No, maybe your top end teams aren't as good as you think they are. Because I saw Georgia I saw Georgia lose to Georgia Tech. I don't care what the outcome says. And guess what? Notre Dame put an ass whooping on that Georgia Tech team.
I think I'm going to use your Ohio State Michigan. I mean, that game means more. It's a rivalry game, end of the year.
All right, fair.
Hey, Georgia almost blew it against Kentucky.
Circled on the calendar, but Kentucky also went into the Grove this year and won. I'm just saying.
Is that not more of an indictment on Ole Miss than it is on Kentucky?
But Ole Miss also beat Georgia handedly.
Again, indictment on Georgia.
But also, since we've been doing this playoff thing, look at the conference records. And if you take the Michigan wins away,
Which they will be taken away.
do you know what the Big Ten's record in the college football playoff is?
Well, let's see. Ohio State won 2 the first year. Ohio State beat Clemson once. So there's 3 wins. Probably 3-6.
3-7.
That was fucking close.
You were
Do you know what
math there.
Do you know what the SEC's record is in the college football playoff?
I don't give a fuck.
3.
No, it's 16-6. So I think that we have some data on the playoff games here, and if you take the records away, if you take SEC playing SEC, I believe the record is 12-4. So that's almost double the wins against other conference teams. So I think that, when it comes into this, we have to look at it as a full scope of things, because we can sit here and rehash the Indiana thing, and there's not enough time.
Well, there's plenty of time. We got all day.
There's not enough time to rehash that, but I'm just saying you can't pick Indiana up and say they're a top 5 team and say they're good when it's convenient. It's moving the goalposts. Like I said for the last 8 weeks about Florida, we're doing this again.
Okay. Anyway. Yeah. I mean, Iowa's a good team. I don't care what you say.
Florida kills Iowa.
Florida kills Iowa.
Yes, it's not even close.
Kills Iowa?
Yes.
I mean,
Iowa cannot score.
I don't know where Iowa came from. I was talking about Indiana. But okay, I don't disagree. I think Florida does beat Iowa. I think Indiana beats Florida, though.
Not in the swamp.
The swamp ain't what it used to be, all right?
I don't know that when they played LSU.
Well, they get up for LSU, all right? That one means more. But no, I get what you're saying. However, when Indiana beats Georgia in the first round of the playoffs, I'm going to need you to apologize on this podcast, okay? But we talked a little SMU Clemson. Yeah, exactly, G. Fighting hard for the SEC like he's fucking Paul Feinbaum over here.
We got the Midwest Paul Feinbaum.
We got fucking Midwest Paul Feinbaum over here. He's got ears like him too.
I'm way better. I'm way better.
Catch AM
looking
rating
than-
with those things.
I'm way better looking than Feinbaum.
It's not saying much, I gotta tell you.